Hi guys, and let's get started making the base of our 4x6 mini album. Alright, so we are going to start. I've already cut the papers just to save a little time. So let's start. The first piece you're going to need, I use Stampin' Up! Basic White 12x12 cardstock. Get that up there so you can see it. It is 4 inches by 12 inches. We're going to score on the 12-inch side at 6 inches. So let's do that. Okay, so put the 12 inches at the side at the top. We're going to score it in half at 6 inches. Okay. Next, we have 2 sheets. I'm using the Stampin' Up! Basic White thick cardstock. We have 2 of them, cut 6 inches by 8 1/4 inches. We're going to score them at 4 and 4 1/4. So let's do that. So we're going to put it into the 8 1/4 inch side is at the top. And we are going to score it at 4 inches and 4 1/4. Okay, and you're going to do the same thing with the second one. So the 8 1/4 at the top, then score at 4 and 4 1/4. Then we have 2 sheets again of the Stampin' Up! Basic White thick cardstock, and they are cut 6 by 8 3/4, and we're going to score at 4 inches and 4 3/4. So let's do that. Okay. Actually, I lied. You only have 1 sheet of that. It's 1 sheet of 6 by 8 3/4, and we're going to score it at 4 inches and 4 3/4. And then you have 1 sheet of 6 by 9 of I use the Stampin' Up! Basic White thick cardstock. We're going to score this at 4 inches and 5 inches. Okay, so the 9-inch side at the top, we're going to score it at the 4 inches and 5 inches. And then we're done with the scoring tool. We can put our Simply Scored board away. Get out your, oh, goodness gracious. All right, that's your paper that we just did. So we're gonna burnish all of our score lines, just like this. Bone folder is I think the easiest way to do this. You can use whatever you need to, or whatever you use to burnish. Just make sure that it all lines up and it's all crisp and good. There we go. Especially since it's such thick cardstock. There we go. Some of you are going to notice my desktop's a little marred. That is because I finally cleaned off that adhesive and it would not, all right, don't be rude. It would not come off with undo, you guys. Repeated attempts, and some of the top layer came off, but it wouldn't all come off. So my bright idea was, so you can still see it's got just a little bit on there. I can get it to roll sometimes, but I think this is actually a little bit new since I cleaned it. But anyway, no, this is still some of the old. Anyway, so my bright idea was, well, let's use acetone fingernail polish remover. Yeah, it took the paint. Oh, well. It gives, not that I need an excuse, but it gives me an excuse to go ahead and I'm going to repaint. All right, you, come on. There we go. I'm going to repaint my desk this spring. Painting it white, just gonna do it again. So I really needed to touch it up anyway, but instead of touching it up, now I'm going to paint the whole top of that. Okay, so we've got our pieces. I'll tell you what they each are. This is going to be the inside flip up. These are going to be our 2 inside pages that will open like this. So this is going to be our cover. I am going to be using my wet adhesive to put this together. And it is going to go together like, oops, like this. So this is the 6x9 will be on the left, and then the 6 by 8 3/4 is what is going to be adhered in onto the 6x9. So if you have them facing each other, 6x9 on the left, open it up, your 6 by 8 3/4, what you're going to do is turn it over so it's flipping like this, and we're going to put our adhesive on. Oh, that's a little bit thicker than I wanted, but that's okay. At least it's away from the edge, right? Okay. You're going to turn it over and adhere it up to the score line. Always look at the bottom. And then what I do is, before I push it down, I make sure that it fits by turning it like this. Make sure all my edges are even. And now I'm going to take my bone folder and just go back and forth a couple times. There we go. So it should look like this when you have it closed. This side should be thinner than this side. That's okay. All right. Next, we're going to put in the middle flap. And we're just going to do the same thing with our wet adhesive. So I'm just going to put it on like this. Okay. And I'm going to go same place as before. You're going to make sure that this is centered between these two. I always like to take them both up like this to make sure. And then I do the same thing I did with the other. Set it on the side of the spine and just rub it. Then you're going to very carefully open it up and take your bone folder across to make sure that it is burnished well and it is down. Adhesive coming out? No. Okay, so here we go. Now the 2 pages are going to open like this. So the one on the left will open into, and the one on the right will open from the right into. So we will take our pieces. I think I'm going to glue this side down just because I can. There we go. Oh, come on. Boy, I go through the wet adhesive a lot. I use it a lot though, so. All right, same thing. You're gonna take the inside part and go up to, but not on, the score line. And then I make sure it is all even at the bottom. Turn it up so that you know that it's not over the score line, and then make sure it's centered and even, and there you go. Whoops. Use your bone folder to burnish it down. Okay. Now let's go for this side. Okay. So we're going to put our wet adhesive on. There we go. I'm going to have to get a new one out, I think. It's about done. Oh. Same thing, up to the score line, but not on it. Fold it in, make sure it is centered between the top and bottom. Everything is great. Then take your bone folder and burnish. There we go. And that's how easy the base is, and it's done. So now we're going to put on adhesive for our ribbing. Now, those of you who know me are not going to find this next statement surprising in any sense of the word, but this is actually my 4th attempt at doing this video because I screwed up every single time on something. So I remade this video because I screwed up on the tape, which you will see in the second video coming up, the tutorial video. And I was like, oh, nuts. So I decided that you guys shouldn't screw up like I did. So I redid it so that you won't have the screw up, but you'll still be able to see mine. And it was very easily fixed. So I'm using Stampin' Up! Tear and Tape. And I'm going to turn my album around and I'm going to lay it out flat. First, I'm going to show you this way. Hold on. So here it is closed. You want your ribbon to go across the front, the side, and the back. So what you're going to do is you're just going to open it up, lay it flat, and I just went right in the middle here. This is pretty close to the middle. And straight across. And well, oh, there it is. Well, of course I pulled too hard. I do that all the time, you guys. There we go. There we go. So, here's our tape. And it's going to be ready for the ribbon. You do want to take this and burnish it with your bone folder. Make sure it is securely down. How easy is that? And this base, you guys, it can be used now for anything you want to make. We are making a mini Halloween 4x6 album, but you could make Christmas, any holiday, birthday, a wedding, whatever. So, how easy is this going to be? All right, you guys, I will see you in the next video. Until next time, keep crafting. Bye.